Public Attorney's Office Chief Peresida Acosta denied that her client, Marine Lieutenant Colonel Ferdinand Marcelino, is being forced to testify against Senator De Lima. Acosta explained that the text messages which the senator publicized were sent by Marcelino to his mista a long time ago. It was confidential in nature and that there was no mention of pressure. The PAO chief echoed her client's statement that the text messages or text exchanges between Marcelo and a relative of De Lima, who was not a government official, was taken out of context. Marcelino, who is facing drug-related charges, categorically denied that he is being coerced by the government to testify against the senator's alleged involvement in the flourish of illegal drugs in the National Bilibid prisons during her term as Justice Secretary. In the news tonight, Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre says they have now in their possession bank documents linked to the illegal drug transactions at the new Bilibid prisons in Muntinlupa City. Aguirre said the documents were forwarded by the Anti-Money Laundering Council. He said the documents will help probers determine where the drug money went. Among those linked to the illegal drugs trade at the NBP is former Justice Secretary, now Senator Leila De Lima, who has repeatedly denied such allegations. Ria Fernandez filed this report.
The Department of Justice, or DOJ, and the National Bureau of Investigation, or NBI, have already received the report of Anti-Money Laundering Council, or AMLAC, on the bank accounts where the alleged drug money of Senator Leila De Lima was deposited. According to Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre II, AMLAC looked into around 20 bank accounts under the name of individuals believed to have close ties with De Lima. He says they are making another request to AMLAC to check more bank accounts.
Makikita mo lang doon yung, halimbawa, the name of an individual or the account name. Ito ang mga transactions doon sa account name na yun or sa account ng individual na yun. Halimbawa, sinasabi doon, mayroong deposit amounting to almost 500 million. Yan ang maaaring nakalagay doon. At saka ilang beses na nagtransaksyon, ilang beses nagdeposit.
DOJ considers asking the Court of Appeals to freeze the bank accounts. Aguirre says they can use these as evidence against De Lima, like the testimonies of high-profile inmates who testified last House probe when they file a case. De Lima outrightly denied owning any dummy account. Meanwhile, the DOJ is still trying to get inmate J.B. Sebastian as witness. Then Aguirre belied that he coerced Lieutenant Colonel Ferdinand Marcelino to speak up against De Lima. Marcelino also said there's no truth to it. Marcelino, accompanied by Public Attorney's Office Chief Attorney Peresida Acosta, filed a motion to suspend the arrest warrant and dismiss the revived drug case against him. Here, the media asked him if he is also going to testify against De Lima, and he responded,
I will tell the truth kung saan man forum ako iharap. I will tell the truth as far as I know the truth.
For PTV News, Ria Fernandez.
Meanwhile, Senator De Lima dismissed as fictitious the bank accounts that reportedly will link her to the NBP drug payoffs. In a text statement to reporters, De Lima said she has no millions nor billions in her bank accounts. She also said she had no dummy accounts. De Lima added that any alleged accounts that would be linked to her and her alleged drug links can only be fictitious.
The PNP Internal Affairs Service has started looking into the claims of self-confessed hitman Edgar Matobato on policemen allegedly involved in extrajudicial killings in Davao City. 10 of those identified by Matobato are still in the active service. Here's Aya Macalma with this report.
After Edgar Matobato's testimony at the recent Senate hearings implicating police personnel to the Davao Death Squad, the PNP Internal Affairs Service immediately launched an investigation. Out of the 19 cops mentioned by Matobato, only 10 remain active in the service. 8 are assigned to Davao City Police, while 2 are with the Presidential Security Group. The 8 others are retired, while 1 has passed away. Attorney Sheila Castillo, acting chief of the IAS Legal Affairs Division, revealed that several police personnel are now under verification, while others have already been verified. The policemen whom Matobatod identified still await orders to report to Camp Crame, since there is no hard evidence or basis for a case against them.
Every time kasi na may marinig kaming ganyan regarding personnel, no, police officers, immediately we validate them, we verify whether it's true or not. As of today, we are on validation and verification as to the allegations of Matobato. So, bine-verify na namin yung mga yun. We are already on validation of those persons named by Matobato.
Meanwhile, the motu proprio investigation of the PNP-IAS still continues for the anti-drugs operations, with drug suspects being killed. The PNP-IAS data records show that from July 1 to September 21, there are now 575 cases under investigation, with 753 suspects killed while resisting arrest. 15 were terminated, while 98 cases have already been dropped and closed after careful investigation proved the operations as legitimate and that no police operational procedure was violated. A case will be recommended by the IAS for summary hearing after establishing probable cause, but the IAS maintains its confidentiality. For PTV News, this is Waywaya Makal.
One of the trusted men of alleged Eastern Visayas drug lord Kerwin Espinoza voluntarily surrendered to authorities today. According to Albuera Leyte Police Chief Jovi Espinido, Max Mero voluntarily went to his office together with his live-in partner at about 10 o'clock this morning. Chief Inspector Espinido said Mero also surrendered his 9mm pistol. Espinido said Mero also informed him about the 3 kilos of shabu buried in his residence. Espinido added that Mero has always been communicating with Kerwin Espinoza, who is currently the subject of an intensified manhunt by authorities after he was tagged by his own father, Albuera Leyte Mayor Roland Espinoza, as the alleged supplier of drugs in the Eastern Visayas area.
President Rodrigo Duterte made another visit to a police camp, this time in General Santos City. During that visit, the president paid tribute to policemen who performed their tasks well in the campaign against illegal drugs. Here's Joy Gumatay with her story.
Rodrigo Duterte is the first chief executive of the country who visited the headquarters of Police Regional Office 12 in General Santos City. Upon his arrival, he immediately had a closed conference with officials of PRO 12 before finally delivering his message to the uniformed and non-uniformed personnel of Region 12. He emphasized his strong support to the police force, telling them that he will be on their side if ever unfortunate outcomes occur as a result of their anti-drug operations in the country. He encouraged them to perform their duties fearlessly in compliance with the rules of self-defense and maximum resistance to violence.
Maghintay lang kayo, you just do your work. Huwag kayong magtakot. Huwag kayong magtakot na. Just remember the guidelines. I gave you the standard. Hands up ka. Pag nagkamali, hands up. Tapos ang kamay mo nag-travel sa bulsa. You know, if you kill a person on a judgment, wala kang malis. Except that you thought at that time that you were in danger. That is good faith.
Also part of the event was the awarding of medals of honor to 12 distinguished policemen who were instrumental on the successful operations of PRO 12. President Duterte promised a financial incentive of 200,000 pesos each to the awarded policemen in recognition of their excellent service to the Filipino people.
Of course, bilang officer, yun nga, ginagawa lang naman namin yung trabaho namin. Kumbaga ito is extra lang ito, extra blessings ito. Pero sabi nga nila, pag nabigyan ka ng blessings, the more ka na nagmo-move sa trabaho mo. The more na blessings na dumadating, dapat the more din ng trabaho mo para yung blessings darating lang yan.
For PTV News, Joy Gumatay, General Santos City.
4 policemen were personally recognized by President Rodrigo Duterte at Camp Vicente Alagar in Cagayan de Oro City. This report by Sweden Velado.
4 valiant police officers were recognized and personally given awards by President Rodrigo Duterte in his visit at Camp Vicente Alagar, Cagayan de Oro City. One of them is Police Chief Inspector Ariel Filipontillas. He led a successful operation that resulted in the arrest of high-value targets in illegal drugs and CDO. 2 packs of shabu with a total weight of 200 grams were confiscated from them.
From 1 year natin na umaabot na kami ng mga more than 100 drug pushers arrested and more on umaabot natin kami ng 150 grams of shabu nga aming nakuha.
According to Pontillas, these types of recognitions coming from the president himself serve as their motivation to double their efforts in performing their duties.
It really boosts our morale. Noon kanina nung nag-conference kami, serious yung conference, din na-flash yung isang tauhan namin na namatay. Siya talaga, ininto niya yung conference. Sabi niya, bakit hindi ko alam yan? Sabi niya, dapat sa bukid nun. Pupuntahan ko ngayon yan. Ako parang umiyak ako, sabi ko, ito talagang leader ang kailangan na.
Pontillas said the president can expect that his team would continue to become his partners for change and in his battle against illegal drugs and crime in the country. The police awardee promised to give a better performance not only for his family but also for the sake of the future generation. Meanwhile, Pontillas expressed his gratitude to the president who announced to give them a cash reward worth 200,000 pesos for a job well done.
Hindi ko na-expect yun. Hindi ko na-expect na bibigyan kami ng award. Hindi ko na-expect yun. Nagulat lang ho kami. And the first thing on my mind was to share to the less fortunate yung binigay niya sa akin.
For the PTV News, Sweden Velado, Cagayan de Oro.